Hey, could this be it? Are we up without buffering? Looks like we're live. All right. I'm really, really sorry. I tried to have chat turned on, but it's not working. So we're going to have to do this with chat off. Um, yeah, my apologies, everybody. I wish it was otherwise, but let's give it a shot. Um, all right. So let's see here. Here is my workbench. There we go. Oh, oh, there we are. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little flummoxed by how unpleasant that was. Flummoxed, just I wanted to have the chat all running and everything. Okay, let's try that. So, oh wow, what a crazy angle that is. That's ridiculous. It's like a Batman villain. Okay. Batman villain? I just meant like the 1960s Batman, where everything was at a Dutch angle. Dutch angle. That's when you tilt the camera like that. All right. Are we good? Let's see here. Hey, everybody. Hi, happy Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. For me, this is day 13 of sequestration. Oh, wait. Yeah, this is day 13 of our sequestration. San Francisco is being pretty rigorous about it, and here in the cave, I am readying up for another short project for a couple of hours. I don't have any more pieces of the. Hold on, just a second. Just technical. I'm just gonna assume it's working okay. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, right. Okay, now I do this. Hold on, I have to quit all these other things. Quit, quit, quit. Okay, that's what I wanted. There's my directions, and here's my text chat. Cool. Let's see here. Yes, we are good. Okay, cool. I I I have help. I have help helping me make sure this is all working smoothly. Um, but it's not working smoothly. It's just working. Uh, so I don't have any more pieces of the Ghostbusters Ecto 1 from Eagle Moss just yet. I hope to soon. Um, they're actually still printing, making, shooting, manufacturing some of the pieces of the final kit, but they may be able to hook me up. We're going to find out. Um, but I have another Ghostbusters thing to build today, and it's one I've been kind of holding back for a one-day build. This is a Gizmo kit. Now, if you remember Ghostbusters, if you remember the costumes in Ghostbusters, the guys are all wearing a whole bunch of different things on their belts in their coveralls, and one of them is affectionately known as the Gizmo. It is, in fact, the it looks like a printed circuit board because it is. It is an old style one. It looks like it's got some Nixie tubes because it does, and it is the internal guts of a Sanyo calculator from the 70s. And because Ghostbusters people are sticklers for accuracy, uh, there are none of these calculators left. They're rarer than Graflex flash handles, and if you can find them, oh boy, they are expensive. They run a fair bit. They have a distinctive looking circuit board because it's not green; it's actually brown. And the thing is that there is a guy on eBay who makes a kit for the Gizmo that is crazy accurate. And the degree to which he went for that accuracy is something near and dear to my heart. So I'm going to pull out the pieces here. It's going to be a lot of little bits and bobs to this. There's a whole bunch of electronics. There's actually some working electronics, but the centerpiece of this kit that he made, um, and I'm going to get the name of the seller and let you know. They don't always have them available, and they're not super cheap. But seriously, this guy went and had the circuit boards printed, manufactured in the correct color. He actually found someone that could make the identical board. So, like, wrap your heads around this for a second. This is a piece of 1970s hardware, a Sanyo calculator with Nixie tubes. To fill you in on what Nixie tubes are, they are. Wait, is this a Nixie tube or is it just a segment display? Actually, this is just a segment display. Yeah, these old glass radio tube, vacuum tube segment displays. Um, this is a piece of computing history, right? It's an old Sanyo calculator, Sanyo ICC-808D. Um, and if you had one and the board was fried, you might be able to buy, I guess, this prop replica and make it work. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the traces look like they work or they actually work, but I love this deep blurring of the line where you make something so accurate. It's not only indistinguishable from the original thing, it could actually become the original thing. There's an old I think it's a Stanislaw Lem short story. And if I remember correctly, its name has something to do with the Princess Ineffable. And it's about a terrible dictator who is caught, captured by his people, and imprisoned. But because he was unjust and they want to respond to the injustice of his leadership with justice, they don't want to kill him. This is great. So they strand him on a tiny little planetoid, but they're not super inhuman. They want him to have something to do, so they make a little digital simulacrum of a world for him to rule over in his terrible tyranny. They give him a hobby, and when they come back 20 years later, what they find is that the little simulacrum of a planetoid that they made for him to rule over was so accurate it actually overthrew him and killed him. Yeah, that's the same kind of thrill I get out of something like that. So I have um, a very detailed instruction set here in PDF form, and I am going to start just walking through the assembly. You know where this is going to start. It's going to start with a little bit of knolling. Yeah, to be sure. So we're doing a little bit of knolling, and then we're going to start doing some assembly, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of soldering. And the best part is there are some lights in this kit, but most of the soldering is what I would refer to as low stakes soldering. All right, we have some wonderful laser cut acrylic pieces here. Oh, I haven't peeled the paper off a laser cut acrylic chunk in a long time, man. This was so much a part of my existence at ILM using their laser cutter. I've said this story before, but I was so addicted to the use of the laser cutter that my nickname was Laser Boy. Given to me, if you call me Laser Boy in public, that's not cool. Tori Belice used to call me Laser Boy. Yep. Here he goes, Laser Boy. Um, yeah, it's that. I'm totally aware these smells aren't good for me, but they're delightful. So, in essence, while they're maybe not healthy in quantity, that I know, in specificity, it's still a comforting smell. That smell of burnt plastic. Don't you laser cut your ABS though? That's poisonous gases. That's no good. Um, it is peculiar over the years how much I went all the way into the laser cutter as a mode of construction, and then I sort of abandoned it. I mean, we have a lovely Trotec laser cutter here come on, fingernails. We have a lovely big fat Trotec laser cutter at tested, and it's a very capable machine. It can do half-inch acrylic, and we do use it for stuff, just much less than if you told me in 2000 that in 20 years I'd have my own shop with a laser cutter in it, I'd be like, cool, I'd be using that laser cutter all the time. Yeah, that's how I talk in my projected future voice. uh, but that is not the case. I do not use the laser cutter all the time. I vastly prefer the practice of making stuff by hand, and thus I've come all the way around to John Goodson's way of thinking about the modeling. It's not that I think that laser cutting isn't awesome model making. Like, please don't think I'm suggesting any of the bullshit gatekeeping, any of the ridiculous gatekeeping that gets done around like 3D printed parts aren't real cosplay. That kind of stuff, I have no time for that sort of dumb stuff. That's bad mojo. You're not helping anybody with that kind of gatekeeping. There is no advantageous there's no advantage to it. Advantageous. I was getting all fancy. Oh, oh, always, you always lose something. Oh, there we go. There's a really funny trick if you drop a little nurney and you don't know where it went. And it's called sending out a search party. Have I talked about this before? I really dig this one. Sending out a search party is you drop a little screw and you stop to try and listen to where it went. And you just never gonna hear it. Like you're kind of gonna hear it, but you're not gonna have enough info. Years ago, a friend of mine, who's a computer scientist, taught me the trick of sending out a search party. You drop one thing, don't see where it went, take an identical version of that thing and drop it in the same location while watching where it goes. Now, the odds that it's going to actually go land near the first thing you dropped, very, very low. But it will help you understand how far and wide you might want to look. I am continually, repeatedly, and every day surprised by how far non round things can skitter underneath tools and tables at the shop. It is like amazing how much farther than I would imagine things can travel when I'm not paying attention. Yeah. All right, we are almost done knolling the second bag of stuff here, and this will just make assembly much easier when I'm looking for the parts and the pieces. This knolling is just the most fun part. It's like the first relax, it's like getting your head in the game, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Um, oh, there's the daughter board. He's even got some dry transfers. This is great. Okay. There's those. Oh, that's a 9-volt. Oh, yeah. Okay. Heat shrink. Another resistor. Little switch. Oh, there's a pot. Okay. I'm just gonna. Okay, so the eBay seller of this kit. Thank you, Kalo. The eBay seller of this kit, it goes by the selling name of Sp- Sponge Face McGee. SPONGEFACEMCGEE. Sponge Face McGee sells this insanely great kit for the Ghostbusters Gizmo. And if you are in the market for one and you can afford it, this is the one to get. I actually can't quite remember exactly how much it costs, but all right, I'm going to move these over here since they were all in a separate bag on the assumption that they might be important for something else. Or these might be daughter board parts. That's also the possibility. Okay, so those sandwich bags can go away. And, oh, a couple more pieces. Oh, yeah, I think these are daughter board chunks. That's the daughter board. The gizmo is connected by a. Here's the thing about the gizmo is like you can see it in some of the original costume fittings, uh, and it's hard to spot on the belts in Ghostbusters. There's not a lot of clear shots of it. And one of the clearest pieces that made it out was Zedimore's stunt version, which is, I mean, it's delightfully low res for a prop. It's almost like someone like drew the prop on a piece of paper and hot glued it together. It's kind of that sweet and crunchy. Um, okay, so are there bulbs in here? I thought that I saw we had some. Oh yeah, there's a little bulb. Okay, so I think that might be part of the chipset for actually lighting this thing up. I'll leave the Nixie tubes there. That's the carrier. Okay, I think we're ready for our first instructions. Okay, here's the parts kit. Shortest parts first. The color codes. Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. Every single one is a different color code. I think that that is going to be something I'm not going to worry that much about. Uh, yeah. Let's see. You can match the color codes with the parts seen in this photo. You can just randomly select resistors. 2 sets of 7. The 2 sets of 7 resistors we use for the stand-up section of parts. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, we're just going to do this. Let's see here. Okay, one goes here. Resistor. Oh, resistor bending. I remember what you were like. Okay, the first resistor is in. Yay! I wonder if I have a thing that can hold this. Hang on. I do. I do have a thing that can hold this. Oh, I love being useful. Okay. That can live over there. How do I hold on to this? Maybe this way? Let's see. And look at that. Look at that. It's like I know what I'm doing. Very exciting. Okay, so we're just going to start grabbing some of these resistors. We're just going to be going for it. So 1, 2, 3, and the fourth hole gets a resistor, and then one lives right above it. I haven't done board soldering like this in a long time, and frankly, I'm looking forward to it. There's something very meditative about the process of making sure you're getting all the instructions right. Soldering is so easy. Oh my gosh, I heard this great story the other day. I think it came up on Reddit, uh, of a repair shop that had a power supply come in and it was completely dismantled. Like everything desoldered from the motherboard of this power supply, and it turned out that the owner of said power supply had a kid who was 10 and really into electronics and taking stuff apart, which is amazing. That's totally fabulous, right? Like taking up things apart, that's how you figure out how they go back together. Um, and this kid had asked his dad. His dad had said he got a new computer so he could take apart the old one, and the kid accidentally took apart the new one and desoldered everything off the board. Oh my god, it's great! Like that's just warms the warms the cockles of this maker's heart. All right, that one goes there and there. Um, yeah, I am not worrying about the color coding of the resistors. This now is where you'll see. This is the limit of what I consider to be accuratizing. Like for me, I totally respect somebody who's going to go get the original board and like color match every single resistor value. That's just not the way I'm going to do it. Let's see. That goes da, 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 da. There. Yeah. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3. Um, this is one of the most fascinatingly one of the most common questions I get is, when do you feel like you've reached your level of accuracy? And the answer is I never know. I really don't. It's not until I'm there and putting the piece together that I discover what my point of view is on how close I'm going to get to the original. Um, and it also has to do with the fact that I think I'm looking for something a little bit different than some prop collectors because, well, I mean, the screen accuracy is really great, and I'm also looking for this kind of experience. And I just know that if I was hired to work on this, we would get. And I happen to know a lot of the people that worked on the new Ghostbusters, and the level of accuracy that they got to was crazy great. But they still wouldn't have worried about those resistors. I just don't think. Okay, solder is dangerous. Yes, you can do this in time. Place all 8 resistors, flip the board, and solder the leads. Uh, Next one. Add the 4 diodes. Oh yeah. Okay, 4 diodes. I only see 2. Ah, okay. I gotcha. Those 2 live up and down right there. Ah, the black stripe on the bottom. Oh, these are, yeah, copy that. Um, this is decidedly harder to talk through than putting together the Ecto 1, simply because there's a lot of direction going back and forth. I don't know. Maybe I was doing the same on the Ecto, but okay. So then that one goes there. I hope Eagle Moss is able to come through with some more parts because I'd love to keep building that thing. And then there's this big, yeah, that diode. Ah, yeah. All right. And silver stripe goes down. And the silver stripe goes down. Um, I believe the maker of this kit has also included some lights, which I think is really, oh, wow. Okay. And here's the other black diode. And where is oh, that's with the 3. Uh-huh. Okay. And the silver stripe is down, right? Yeah. Okay. Silver stripe is down. Oh man. I'm so glad this isn't a real circuit. uh, that looks like that, and that seems to live right. Is it right there? Yeah, it's right there. I'm moving ahead. Moving ahead. Okay. I think tomorrow I might build a stand that I came up with this weekend. Um, like you, like you, I have been visiting everyone I love via video chat. And oh, look at all that. Standing resistors. Oh man, that's a lot of work. Okay. Like you, I've been doing a lot of video chatting. And Zoom is fantastic. And I've been really delighting in seeing the shining faces of all of my sequestered friends and family. We're moving through different folks every night, and it's been really terrific. I There has been a need to move around the monitor, right? So I built this. I took the iMac that we have in our house for the video chatting, and I built this kind of thin stand so we can move it around and not have it be too much in the way. And it was just like 4 pieces of plywood and some wheels. Really, really simple build, and I want to replicate it here because you should see it. It's pretty cool. Okay, now we've got to do all of this work with these uprights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, um, and gets a kink into it. Okay, I'll need uh, some pliers. Yeah, sure, we'll try that. Okay. So, there's, oh, hold on just a second. No? Thanks, baby. My wife just sent me a picture of said stand, and I will copy it and I will send it off to Kalo. And I think we can post this up on Tested in the next few minutes if you'd like to know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, that was delightful. Little feedback. All right, so those gold, yellow. No, that's the other ones. Is it gold? No, it is. Okay, so these aren't exactly the same. They're not exactly. After all my talk that I didn't really care about being exactly the same. Now I'm like, well, they're not exactly the same. Okay, so I have to do the same little bend over for each of these guys. Um, there is a, right, and it's on the colored side there. So come around, I think, yeah, you can come around like that. That's great. Uh, yes, and I'll do the kink separately. Oh, ah, this is where you all discover that I'm way clumsier than than the edit might have shown that I actually am. All right, there we go. And whenever I have to do a repeated operation like this, I tend to uh, I tend to assembly line it. I have found that it's much faster for me to, and by assembly line, I mean I separate out each operation and then I perform them in sequence. Okay, so now it gets this little kink at the bottom. And what is the fastest way to do that? I think I could do it like this. Oh, ah! I keep on. All right, there we go. I think if I hold this like this and I do a er, huh, right, one, yeah, that's not bad. Oh, that's pretty good. Great. So yeah, just to fill you in so you don't have to be completely in the dark. Here is the resistor that I'm working with, and I'm trying to put a kink in it that looks like that. There you go. That little kink there. So I got to put that kink in times 14. Oh, yeah, here we go. What I really want, yeah, I don't think that, I think I'm just going to have to live with that. Oh, that's much faster. Yeah, ooh, yeah, much faster. So I'm just going to manually do it. I don't need two pairs of pliers for it. I'm going to go in and back out and back level. Yep. And we go in and move up and back out and level. Oh, nope, screwed it up. Oh. We will, so I'm going to do this again on Thursday. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be our shop hangout time together. And I swear I'm going to try and get this, I'm going to try and get the chat up and running. I know. I'm sorry that it was such a crap show this morning. I didn't realize it would be so hard, but we're learning as we go. Yeah. Um, that's it. You know, the other thing that I love about the research in props like this is you always you end up learning so much more. Uh, so, like Gaber Tully, who gave the great TED talk on 5 dangerous things you should let your children do, and wrote a book, 50 Dangerous Things You Should Let Your Children Do, and ended up starting a maker-based school here in San Francisco called Brightworks. Um, Gaver is the proselytizer that loves to point out that, like, if you give somebody a task and something to do, as they go through that task, they're going to learn all this ancillary stuff they didn't expect to while they're going. And it's really true. Um, because, when you start to look into, like, if you want to make a lightsaber, you got to go get a Graflex flash handle. That's uh, one of the old Newsy cameras with the battery powered flash. Pah! That was literally a controlled explosion. Uh, is this what I'm supposed to take? This heat shrink here? Um, the controlled explosion of a flash. And to a certain extent, you start learning a little bit more about the history of cameras because you've had to buy some old camera equipment, or you had to go to, is it in Philly? That's that really great, weird, wonderful camera store. Yeah, you go to a camera store and you talk to the old dudes behind the counter and you learn about it from that way. Okay, before I get on about my all the things you can learn while making props, let me just read this. Cut up the tubing, a ½ inch of tubing for each resistor. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay. Oh, wow, that's a lot of work, isn't it? Okay. I I have all these bits of lock line. I have them on my lights. I have them on my board. Oh, hey, that's a little better. Look at that. We shed a little light on the situation. Okay, so about a ½ inch, and we'll thread this on. Oh man, this is going to be. Ooh. Oh, that's not so bad. Oh, not bad at all. Oh, glory be. I was all afraid that was going to be a big pain in the butt, but it's not. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Yes, cut an extra. How do we do on the size here? Damn. Pretty darn close to exactly ½ inch. Calibrated eyeball still works. Okay, so now I gotta thread the heat shrink on all 14 of these. I've only currently bent 7. Thank goodness it was easier than I thought it was going to be. So that was going to get boring. Um, yeah. Ooh. Okay, I do have to unbend it just a tad. Again, doing these little bits of tedious work. It's funny how much it reminds me of sitting there in a model shop, shooting the breeze, telling stories and making weird stuff for commercials or films. Um, there's so much camaraderie born out of, like, you're sitting there, everyone's doing the same thing, and it's crushingly tedious. And you build all these great little in jokes. Oh man, I think it was. I used to work with a guy named Kundo Rabouti. Hi, Kundo. Uh, when things fell, like you'd be in a shop and something would fall over there, Kundo would announce that he had done it with his mind. He liked to pretend to be telekinetic. Uh, oh my God, yeah, we'd tell stories about old dates. every day we did. Actually, at ILM, it was mostly like everyone listened to NPR in the morning on the way into work and then talked about it during the day. That was a really common thread. Like we're all listening to the same thing. Oh, and then for a long time, my mentor, Mitch Romanowski, and I were both working at ILM. And if you're from the Bay Area, Industrial Light and Magic, their offices were up on Kerner Boulevard in San Rafael. And when you're heading back from Kerner Boulevard in San Rafael, the natural way to go is to take 101 south, 246. 2, 4, 6, 8. The natural way is to go south down 101 across the Golden Gate Bridge. However, I'm here to tell you that on many occasions, taking the Richmond San Rafael Bay Bridge is actually faster than the Golden Gate Bridge. And it might be 9 extra miles, but if you're heading to the middle of San Francisco, getting from the north end at the Golden Gate Bridge to pretty much anywhere like central is going to take you 30 minutes. And that 9 extra miles, if there's not much traffic, that's not 30 minutes. So often the East Bay route is faster. But Mitch Romanowski and I got even more specific about it, and we started getting we started A/B testing the route. And this is how we learned that on the Bay Bridge, until you've reached the last of the big upright stanchions, the suspension towers, until you've reached the last suspension tower on the Bay Bridge, the far right lane is always on the aggregate faster than the other lanes. There, I just revealed this key piece of Bay Area traffic data. This is what you should know. The far right lane is always going to be the one that saves you. Yeah, totally true. Totally true. I'll stand by it. I still utilize that knowledge. And it would be that like Mitch and I and who else? God, Tony Preciado, we'd all be like calling each other from the cars on different routes if we'd agreed to try different things to get home. It was. We also found out that if you're bumping up and over the city, and again, this is the early aughts, traffic light patterns might be totally different. But if you're heading up through the middle of the city, the center lane on Franklin is faster going north. All sorts of little bits of institutional knowledge like that we gleaned over that time. Yeah, I just made two whole stories about commuting. All right, here we go. It's another one. How are we doing here? Awesome. This is I'm definitely not going to finish this kit today, I don't think. Yeah, we're already 45 minutes in. That's amazing. The thing that the tested crew will tell you is that I'm never right about how long I think a one-day build is going to be. I'm just never right. So now when they ask me how long is it going to take, I I think they know not to actually believe me. Or in many cases, they're actually probably better than me at figuring out how long it's going to take. Like they have more remove or distance because there's there's totally different speeds if you're documenting something versus not documenting something, which is why I end up doing so many weekend builds in here. Um, I mean, obviously, I love making stuff and telling stories about making stuff, but I also love just making stuff. Like, coming in this weekend and solving a problem for the house. Oh my God, there's a singular pleasure towards making a piece of equipment that makes your life a little easier. And sometimes I can't I can't figure out the problem. I can't figure out the solution I'm looking for while I'm in front of the camera. There's a one of my favorite painters in the world is the abstract or often abstract painter Gerhard Richter. And there's a documentary about him. Is it on HBO? I think it's on HBO. There's a documentary about Richter in which he attempts to paint on camera. And Richter is, oh my God, he's amazing. But watching him try to paint on camera, he has a really difficult time with it, and he says it's because the way he's thinking through the problem solving is fundamentally different because there's a witness. Um, Look, I am not equating my making of a television stand with one of the greatest living one of the greatest living painters. I'm not equating those two things at all. However, experientially, I'm saying I kind of understand. Um, and there's a different creativity to being on camera. There's a different you. It's not like you're solving different problems. There's just it's a mindset. All right, so there, that's good. We're moving along quickly on the resistor front. The resistance. I think I didn't cut these bits of wire long enough, but that's okay. I'm not going to fret about it because in the end, it's still going to just be this bit of wonderful visual cacophony. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate that this guy went and found a company that could print brown circuit boards. That is so It's above and beyond, but it's right in my wheelhouse. Okay, here we go. Now we can place these bad boys. So what do we got? We've got those. Okay, so it's one, two, three. Okay, so four of these. One, two. Yeah, I'm gonna solder all this when we're done. That's gonna be much more fun, especially all the snipping and yeah. Soldering this after the fact is gonna be a friggin' delight. Okay, so it's 7. Okay, so there's one missing. Um, there are also some wonderful Gizmo kits out there that you can buy where people have just printed a photo of this board, which is completely sufficient to making a gizmo on your belt that looks fantastic, that looks totally spectacular. Um, and that was actually the path I was going until I can't remember, but I think Mark Dubois, my good friend and fellow prop fanatic, Mark Dubois is the one that found this kit for me and told me that this insane person was making this super accurate, beautiful thing. There we go. Oh, this is great. And then 7 of the red ones. 7 of the red ones. Hmm. So one of the difficulties with this workbench is I can't get my knees under it, so I'm still quite a distance from it. This is my workbench game is weak right now. I must admit, my workbench game is not as good as it could be, and it needs some rejiggering. This guy here, this one, this it's a piece of garbage, and it's messing with my existence. Um, uh, okay, and so it's a long way of saying I think that's gonna be a key build this year is making super solid workbenches that do what I actually need them to do, like actually provide because I put everything on wheels, which is great, but what it ends up doing is it ends up meaning that everything wobbles a little bit. And while I love things on wheels, I think it's time for me to give up the idea that I'm going to have to move this workbench at a minute's notice and realize that I have pry bars and jimmy bars and dollies and I can move it at my leisure. I don't have to have the ability to get it into a taxi cab this afternoon. Much as I would much as I am comforted by the idea of that level of mobility, it is not necessary. It is not necessary. Oh, I guess, yeah. Go. 1, 2, 3, and we'll straighten them all up at the end. I have Lost one. Huh. Hold on. You, the mouth makes it clear to me that I would do really well with a third arm. A third arm would be a very useful model making tool. Okay, so now these guys are in. Well, that's a rat's nest. I feel like, okay, yeah. How do I do this? I guess they're not falling out. All right, I think it's time to do a little bit of soldering because I've done a lot of placement and perhaps it's time to move on to something new. Okay, let's start you up. Let's get the solder going. And, okay, I'm going to move you over here. And 300. There we go. Okay. Right. Flush cutters there. Get this stuff over here. Oh. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, a good solder joint is something that is so lovely to achieve. They don't even have to be good, but it's nice if they are. Yeah. Oh, glory. Beauty. This is me. I'm encouraging myself every step of the way. You did great. Nice one, boss. All right. Um, oh, okay. I'm going to go do these down here because all those stand-up ones are a bit of a rat's nest. Oh, yeah. These these pieces are settling in nicely. The heat of my soldering iron is ideal at 300. And lovely, lovely. Um, you know what I get really excited about? Okay, so, like I said, like you, I'm doing lots of video chatting. Also, like you, I am trying to find silver linings in the difficulties that are happening. That is such an understatement, the word difficulties, but I'm trying to find silver linings. And one of them that I believe is a great silver lining is a number of people who are realizing just how hard it is to teach children. Um, the all of my friends with young children are sort of losing their minds with the homeschooling. It is so not easy, and homeschoolers the world over know this. Um, you know, but maybe as a silver lining, when we're all done with this, that people will realize that teachers should get paid a lot more than they're currently getting paid. Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Um, there are a whole host of other silver linings that I've been thinking about, but a lot of them are quite political. And let's just keep this on the hanging out in the shop, kind of doing our thing sort of vibe. All right. That is my feeling about what is needed here. There's plenty of time to yell about politics later. Um, I hope. Oh, I guess I should tell you guys what I'm doing. If you're just tuning in, this is Adam Savage. I'm here in my cave in San Francisco. It's day 75 of the quarantine. It's day like 12, but uh, it feels like day 75. And I am building a Ghostbusters prop here in my cave. It is a kit I picked up off of eBay, and it involves some real electronics and some fake electronics, and most people, even experienced people, might not even be able to tell the difference between the two once all is said and done. Um, and I'm doing this on Tuesdays and Thursdays now from 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time. If you'd like to join me, put the computer at the end of your workbench and build alongside. We could make some props together. Because also like you, I've been wondering what the hell I can do. What what can I do? And obviously, I'm getting reached out on the maker front, and we've been putting some people together and helping people find resources, etc. But seriously, the thing I realized this weekend is right. The civic duty here is to stay indoors. Just sequester, stay away from people. There were too many people in Dolores Park on the sunny night a couple nights ago. Um, we need to stay in. And like, okay, so you're asking, how do I know that there were people in Dolores? Well, I take my dog out for a walk. But seriously, like, the dog walkers are not the problem here. It's the yeah. Anyway, your civic duty is to stay indoors. What you do with that time is up to you. Um, I don't feel a huge need to be crazy productive. My motivation's been all over the place. Okay, I got to cut some of these away. Um, however, apparently, if everyone in the world just stopped moving for 2 weeks, that would do a lot to eliminate this thing right away. Um, and boy, I hope we can eliminate it. I hope we can flatten the curve. I hope we can stop the suffering, or at least lessen it. I would be very grateful for that. But the best way you can lessen it right now is, yep, you guessed it, staying indoors. Okay, that's the end of my proselytizing about sequestration and sheltering in place. Oh, that smell, that great smell. All right. I know these are not beautiful solder joints. But then I'm pretending I'm a lab technician somewhere in Texas in the 1970s putting this together. Oh, it's Sanyo. So now I'm in Japan. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I can clean some of that up. Okay, now it's time for the transistors. And they live, where do they live? I think that is that. And okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Uh, let's see. Yeah, transistor has three leads, and so it's a little bit of it's a threading deal. Did I just put that in backwards? Ha! I did. Classic move. Um, Cookbooks. That's definitely been one we've been using a lot more of lately. Been pulling out cookbooks and trying some different things. One, two, three. One, two, three. All right. I guess it's just that. Is it three in a row? Yeah. And they're all facing on the inside there. They are. Um, Maggie is still my shop assistant today. She's being very quiet. She's hanging out over there on her sound blanket. I took her out on a walk just before we left. I saw this very funny headline yesterday that said dogs are really excited about whatever the hell is going on. Oh, so exactly like that. Um, yeah. Oh, Maggie. She's so deaf. It makes it kind of great. Deafness. I didn't know what a dog calming mechanism deafness is. Uh, but it made Maggie a much easier dog to deal with. She used to just like lose her mind if anyone rang a doorbell on television. Oh my God. Uh, all right. Each night I keep thinking we're gonna watch a movie, and each night we kind of don't have the energy to watch a movie. It is the emotional toll of this time is really it's hard to overstate, isn't it? It's just so peculiar. All right, let's see here. I can see that. Let's get some solder joints going. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. Oh, having things to hold. Oh, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is lovely. I love this kind of rhythm. Like when you got your work all properly set up and you're welding into a corner and like everything is just properly distanced and you feel physically in the right spot. Oh, it's the best. It's actually during doing a weld like that that I got my worst sunburn I've ever had. We were we were making God, we are doing some story out on Mare Island, on the Mare Island dry dock. What was it? I think it might have been the skydiver landing on the other side of the seesaw and sending the little girl flying. We did it all with crash test dummies, but um, I was sitting on an I-beam, welding this thing to the I-beam with a stick welder, and I was just in this perfect position, getting this great, oh, I mean, just perfect action, right? Just like everything's falling into place. And what I didn't know was that I had this hole in my jeans right here. And so the UV, bath of ultraviolet light from my welds was causing this silver dollar sized sunburn in my leg that I'll probably have to deal with later. It was yeah, it was a really really bad sunburn. I had no idea I was even getting it. Yeah, welding sunburns are brutal. All right. Okay. We flush cut the transistors. Let's see. Yeah, it's all right. Okay, next stage. Um, ha! Already got that one in, but I can put the last transistor up there, and it goes, yeah, in those three. Okay. What do you want to bet? I'm putting it in backwards. Nope, got it right. Well, 50-50. Broken clock is still right twice a day. Lovely. Hmm. I also, I am also noticing a proclivity to not want to get out of bed. And it's really important to get out of bed. If left to my own devices, I could easily see entering a situation in which I'm like going to bed at like 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning and sleeping until noon. That's just not good for anybody. Okay, the big capacitors. Um, let's see here. Where do these go? They go all the way across. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Okay, so right. Okay. Okay. So it goes like this. Yeah? Oh, okay. It goes to the right of each of those holes each time. Okay, so we do that. And yep. Okay, I see now. There we go. I guess if experience is any teacher, we're just past an hour in. Meg's going to show up in about half an hour and say, Hey, what are you doing? It's maybe time to take care of me. I don't necessarily think that's how Maggie talks.
I I think Maggie talks like this. This is what Maggie's voice sounds like. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she's like that kind of Muppet. Maybe now it's a little bit softer because she's like an old lady. You know,
She's like 13 and a half. Yeah, she's an old broad. Um, yeah, that's definitely Maggie sounds like a Muppet. That I'm pretty sure of. Um, it is oh, there's this great bit on a Muppet documentary I was watching the Muppeteers pick up a puppet and just start working through voices with them and trying all these different sounds until something hits. Oh, so awesome. Okay, so now we're going to solder the capacitors in. I love this soldering iron so much. This is going to be much easier than the other ones were. Come on. That's it. Now you see it. Yep. And a little bit for you. Okay. Moving on. Good. Take that one. Great. Excellent. Okay. Moving on. Oh, yeah. I keep going home every day thinking I'm going to do some drawing. And for the life of me, I can't get interested in drawing. Although I played so much Pistol Whip. The Oculus Quest VR. I played Pistol Whip for a couple of hours, and my legs are on fire. Fire. That is, yeah. Will Smith reminded me of what a good workout Pistol Whip is, so I jumped into it yesterday, and I'm suffering a little bit from it this morning. I must tell you. I must tell you. Okay. Great. 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 And the capacitors. Oh, wait, one lead left. Capacitors are in. Next step is, oh, for Christ's sake. Goodness gracious, is what I meant to say. Um, oh my God. The integrated circuit part kit assembly. Oh, right. That's right. There's these like fake IC circuits in here. Yumpin' Yiminy. Okay. The angled gold portion will end up being the visible part of the lead for the IC. Right. Okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. Uh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm just working through this. Okay, so those end up coming all the way out to the end, and they are in batches of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of work. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, shite. That is, there's a lot going on there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. 16 runs of 9. Do I literally have enough? All right. So, um, he's got it. This is going to be fascinating. So they're set at the right distance, which is good. I think I gotcha. Are there longer ones and shorter ones? No, they're all the same size. And I've got 4 of these, which means each one can make 4. That would be my assumption. And so they're in batches of 9. 9. Okay. That's Niner. 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. 1. Okay, cool. So he's got this whole protocol for how to make this work. And it's what we're doing is there's these big integrated circuit chips on the face of this board, and they need their leads coming off of them. And he's figured out this wonderful way to do fake leads, which is brilliant. It simply requires heating. Well, he's got this thing of heating these up, but I think I can do it without that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. Okay, so let's cut all 16 of these. Yeah, 5, 6. There's got to be a fast way to do this. No, that's pretty much it. Oh, 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, wait, did I lose it? 3, 6, 9, 10. Okay, here we go. That's it. I continue to find The West Wing to be the most comforting television imaginable. Um, but last night, what was I watching last night? I was watching a lot more people building stuff last night. That's yeah, that's that's my go-to. People making stuff. Oh, it's one. What? No, that's correct size. Yeah, that's my go-to on YouTube is people building stuff. Whether it's Chris from ClickSpring or John Plant from Primitive Technologies or Jimmy DeResta, Chinbeard, Volpin, Rober, all the guys. Oh my God, there's people. There's. I'm just realizing there's a call I needed to return yesterday and totally forgot to. I usually reserve that kind of stressing out for the end of every day. Okay, so now we're doing. Let's see. Notice it depends. Oh no. Once you have. Right. Solder them down. And you're doing the outside ones first. Ignore those two. Sorry about this. Just going to take me a second to wrap my head around this. Only the top and bottom pins are soldered. And adjusted pins are level and horizontally straight. So black portion is slanted. Okay. All right. Now if I do that and then I do the second set, wait a second. Oh, right. I guess it will. Huh. All right. Well, let's see. This is going to be definitely super tedious because I've got 16 pieces with 9, 150 some odd. Yep. Good. Okay, that's working nicely. I'm glad I have the right tool for that job, which is just a pair of needle nose pliers that are allowing me to adjust the position of these pins. So I do that, and I do that business. Okay. Right. I guess it makes sense because then once I soldered those in, yeah, once I soldered those in, I wonder if I can do it like this. I wonder if that's possible. Okay, let's try. Let's see if this. Nah. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Is this a recipe for disaster? No, I was watching when he injured himself. No, really, it happened right in front of you. Okay, no, that's not gonna do it. Let's see. Yeah. So when I'm doing stuff like this, it part of the equation is always asking myself, is there a better way I could be holding this thing? Could I put it off angle? Is there a pair of pliers that are better? Could I put a notch in the pliers? Like the question is always one of, am I at maximum efficiency? Or is there something I could do to get better at it? Okay, so those guys in there. That's great. That's pretty great. Um, yeah, I could actually those are staying, so I could do that soldering of all, yeah, of all 8 of those first ones. Okay, so now how fast can I make this? You know what? I bet pliers would make this go a little faster because I could do 2 at once. Let's try that. Uh, ah, oops. Oh. Also, dropping parts has been made more complicated by the fact that I'm wearing these as my microphone, but it also means that my already crappy ambient hearing is now pretty much non-existent. Oh, much better. I can do 2 pins at one. Oh, look at that. 3 pins at a time. Okay. Excellent. Okay. So I think I can do this in 2 batches. Yep. Ah, awesome. Look at how fast. See that? This is why you always ask yourself that question. Could I be doing this in a more efficient way? Because I'm just cutting large chunks of time out of how long it would have taken to do this manually or with that original pair of needle nose. It's funny because there are times when I solve a problem and it's like it's not a perfect solution, but at least it's a solution. And I like putting that problem away. But then there are these other times when I'm just constantly wondering if there's a better solution that I hadn't currently thought of. This is great. So, uh, what I'm trying to do here is slide these little IC pins that way in their plastic housing. And did I just drop something? Did I just lean over something and then drop it? Is that what happened? I heard something fall. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep, one fell. What a dope. Okay, before I let go of this one, let me just finish it up. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, no, I didn't. Woo, thank goodness. I've done that more times than I can count. That's for sure. Oh, I'm also taking tons of ow! No, I definitely didn't see where that one went because I pinched the hell out of my finger. All right. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, I guess I just dropped it right there. Wow, I'm my clearly my expectations of my own performance are very lowered today because I'm not dropping as much as I think I am. It's the lack of sleep. Yeah, I couldn't get to sleep. Some nights I'm getting a lot of sleep, some nights I'm not. Last night I only got about 6.5. I can do that for a couple of days, but I'm going to have to nap to bring things back into order soon. All right. The other thing I appreciate about the wonderful, weird specificity of having this board printed in the right color is that the guy didn't just do it for himself, but he made it into a kit. And here's the thing. I said the kit's a little bit spendy, and it is, but I don't think that our dude is making very much dough on this. There's a lot of moving parts to it. There's a lot of, if you've ever had to do fulfillment, it is non-trivial. Um, and then, of course, when you're making something publicly available and you're selling it, you've got to do your customer service. It's a whole thing. And it's very generous uh, to take your research and go ahead and make it available to others like this. That's something I really appreciate. Come on, there we go. And the last one is coming this way. Nope, we're doing 5 leads at a time. Very exciting. Oh, I think this one is not 9. I think this one is 10. That's why one of my lead cutoffs was 3 instead of 4. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bingo, pajama. All right, so now we can put all these in. Yep. Excellent. Okay, I think I'm going to get some tape to hold these in while I do a solder across the back. Then we pull off the plastic. Excellent. Excellent. Oh, whoa, whoa, that one almost went in the wrong set. Outside, 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 inside, inside. Okay, good. Um, let's boot you up again. Get some tape. Uh, After we're done with this, I'm going to go back to machining some cast iron. Yeah, it's a little harder to stream when I'm doing that because it's just all over the place. It's like I'm working on the mill, I'm working on the lathe. Okay, you guys can all live there happily, and we will get this guy soldered in. Here we go. Oh. Okay. He recommends you do one end of either run of pins and then just double check the squareness and make sure everything is happy hunky dory. This is fantastic advice. Born of someone who's made the mistakes and doesn't want you to make the same ones. So that is those done that way. And so now let's double check and see that they're good. They do seem pretty darn fine. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. I think we can continue on and we can just button it all the way down. yeah. Oh. Stitch and stitch and stitch. What a pleasure. Oh, you know what we watched a couple nights ago, which I'd seen in the theaters, is Late Night, Mindy Kaling's movie with the completely inimitable Emma Thompson. Oh my God, it is so good. Um, it's really, really sweet. It's a weird time. There's no more romantic comedies. They seem to be disappearing, or they seem to have disappeared. Um, and this feels like a return to form almost. Um, Full of some great performances, really good writing. Mindy Kaling is always the best. But holy hell, Emma Thompson, if you're watching, I love you. I don't think Emma Thompson's watching. I'm gonna hazard that guess, but she should know that she's a fucking treasure. Excuse me. I'm streaming. I forgot. Yeah, in my normal life, I curse like a sailor. Um, anyway, Emma Thompson, a treasure, totally amazing, and Late Night, a fine and wonderful movie. Okay, so that's the first half of the IC chips in. IC chip leads. So now, does he have me? I think he wants me to pull these now off completely. Yeah. Okay, and then a second set of these goes in there. Yeah! Dude, it's working. Okay, that's awesome. So now I need to figure out how to get all these off. Okay, that's one. Ooh, that's a screw up. There's some I didn't solder. Whoops. Whoops. How do I fix that? It was so pretty for a second. Everything was so great. Everything was just crackling along nicely. And then I had to go screw it up. Okay, so how do I fix that? I think I do it by soldering it from the top, from up here. It's not going to be as pretty, but I need yeah, that's what I need. Just a little something or other there. Yep. Okay. Great. Excellent. Okay. That was a mistake born of not checking my work, that's for sure. Um, what's funny in the directions is as he's talking about doing stuff, you can actually see and he talks about mistakes that he made in the construction process as he went and like exhorts you not to make the same mistakes. That is freaking fabulous customer service right there. Okay, so straighten those out. All right. I'm getting every other one off here. Oh, I see. That's from that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, that's problematic. Now it seems like I'm missing one. Hang on. Got to find a lost soldier here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. All right. So. Ooh, no. Okay. You know what? Wait. I figured it out. I know how to do this. I've got all these extra force. I can cobble it together out of that. Okay, so I still need to remove these guys. Okay, that's doable. Yep, great. Okay. Another one bites the dust. Excellent. Oh, good. Awesome. Uh, uh, uh. Oh, come on. This is the last one. Yeah, you can do it. Come on, be cooperative. There you go. Oh, another couple of lost soldiers here. Ones that I did not get fully embedded in. I missed two solders. So let's get that in. And this is really wonderful that he's figured this out, because almost every other way you could achieve this would be a super big pain in the ass. Um, and by making this kit utilize these pre-aligned sets of gold-colored pins, like, this isn't how the original was built. The original had these IC chips on it, but he figured it out. And that's genius. Okay, so one and two, good. And three and four. That's awesome. Oh, dude, it's so lovely. 5, 6, and 7, and here comes the right. Sorry, got to stretch these out a little bit. That's one. And oh, come on. There we go. Yeah. And here comes the last one. Okay, so now it's time to solder all these puppies in place after taping them down. Okay. Let's try not to forget some key part of this, shall we? It's always a good idea. So inside, 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 inside. That's what we're working on. Yep, that's you. One. Yeah, that's the position. Yep, better. Awesome. Fabulous. Good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Good. Oh, this is going beautifully. 4. Oh, yeah. The meditation of tedium, man. There's few things that are kind of more absorbing. There's something really delightful about it. I mean, yeah, that whole thing, lose yourself in your work. It's a lot of people often think that has to do with being like, doing super creative stuff, but I find just as much sort of that meditative thing from the tedious stuff, right? Uh, we're just past the halfway mark now and burning through it, literally burning through it at 300 degrees Celsius. Awesome. Oh, I'm getting a text. Let's see what we say. Oh, yeah, I agree. I hear you. I'm getting feedback that maybe I should show what I'm doing a little more often. Yeah, I know. It's harder to do on this one than it is on the Ecto One, simply because it's like I know and I'm editorializing, right? I'm thinking no one wants to just look at the close up of an IC board, but then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is what the people want. Um, all right. So, thank you very much, everybody. So that part's mostly done. So here is so far the IC board with the leads in it that will end up being the fake IC chips that will sit on there like that. And it'll look like it's wired in, but it's not. Um, those are the capacitors, transistors, all those beautiful little resistors here. Yeah. Uh, I am continuing on. I don't think I'm going to finish this today. I don't think I'm going to finish it today, but we will get a fair bit down the garden path. Yeah, 20 more minutes. Okay, so now that those guys are all in, I got to pull out, yeah, these. Um, how do I do that? That's interesting. Actually, do I need to do that? Okay, so they point upwards, upwards. Yeah, they kind of do need it, don't they? Um, how do they? Okay, got it. I'm just gonna flush cut past the black here. That's how I'm gonna deal with this. Oh yeah, great. That's actually not bad at all. Um, I'm not sure my flush cutters will work on the second level, but we'll see. All right, that's good. That's good and clean. Yeah. Um, hmm, yeah, I'm having trouble getting around there, but let's see if I can't. Yeah, that's actually not that bad. Oh, good pair of flush cutters. Makes the world go round. What are flush cutters? Okay, these are flush cutters. These are model makers flush cutters. So you see how right there, that cutting edge, it cuts super flush. This handle I built, but this was a product you could get in Micromark. I think it was Micromark. Yeah, it was Micromark. Oh, I think Micromark is actually still around. That was some of the most fun, was comparing notes with other model makers, right? Like sitting there with Lauren Peterson and going over your favorite heat gun stories. Seriously, this is what model makers talk about. They're like, "Oh man, I got to use this German heat gun once," and you'd be like, "Yeah." Uh, you remember every time you come across something where someone's designed a tool with real verve and love, and they've solved a problem for you. Man, you just never forget it. It's the Aesop's fable of the thorn in the paw, right? Like someone was super useful, something, some device, and then you get to share you share that with others, right? It's like you spread the knowledge. Oh, dude, it's just the best. Now we have the cosplay community for that. Okay, so these come, yeah, so that goes in there like this. Oh, look, he's actually already sandblasted or done the backside so it looks great. That's delightful. All right, we're going to use a little cyanoacrylate glue to put these in. And then, oh, they get these little labels. Wow, that is awesome. Okay, so yeah, let's get some glue there. I got some CA glue and some zip kicker. Uh, they all face up. Great. Okay. Oh, I see. I bent you guys while getting in the way. Sorry about that. All right, let me get that back up and yeah, better, better, better. Much better. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a really impressive solution. It's nice and simple, easy to implement, and best of all, looks freaking fantastic. This solution gets my deep respect. And the last one. There we go. Lovely. Excellent. Okay. We hit this with a little zip kicker. The carbon dioxide from my breath is also an accelerant for CA glue. And now we have these little stickers. Let's say, and oh my God, I got a pair of tweezers for these. This is, okay. So these all face that direction, right? Like that. Yeah. So, oh, look at that. Printed on metallic sticker. This is above and beyond, man. Okay, I'm gonna show it to you up close, I promise. Oh, hey, you're not supposed to fall off. Yeah, it's getting a little dirty, but that's fine. Getting a little dirty, that's kind of my brand. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. This is looking like a real thing. Welcome to the 1970s. Big old white IC chips. That's fantastic. Okay. He decided to do, oh my God, right. He's rub-ons. Okay. So now we have these guys, which are these little black nubbins. They're laser cut out of what looks like 1/4 inch acrylic. And they get these little labels. Oh, dry transfer. I have not used dry transfer in so long. I can't even tell you. It's such a blast from the past. What is dry transfer? Dry transfer is a mode of image transferring in which an image is actually printed onto the backing of a translucent piece of paper, and you actually use pressure to apply it. Yeah, it used to be the way in which we did everything in graphic design when we were doing prototyping, because There's not a lot of other ways. And I used to order it. There used to be a place here in San Francisco called Pink's where you got your dry transfer from. I used them for dozens of commercials, all sorts of different things. But no one does it anymore. I'm not even sure where the hell he found someone to do it. That's completely amazing to me that he found this. So we're going to just try this. And yeah, just use a pencil to transfer the image down, and you rub it down, and you'll see like this, right? You wanted to know what typeface would look good. You just bought a full sheet of it, and then you like transferred the letters down yourself. So look at that. This from a prop standpoint, look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Yeah. See that? There's nothing else that'll get you that look. Um, I'm very nostalgic about that look. All right. We're gonna do the others here. So it's just a matter of holding it down. Yeah, you're just kind of transferring it from one piece of paper to the thing that the piece of paper is sitting on top of. There used to be these kids books you could buy where it would include like pictures of environments, and then you had dry transfers of characters, and you could populate those environments with those characters. You guys remember those? That was so much fun. Um, Funny note, the graphics on the spacesuits, the labeling graphics on the spacesuits from 2001 were all done with dry transfers. And most of them can't even be seen in the film. They're so small. However, I managed through some of my sources when I was making my silver Clavius suits to get some high res images of costume tests from the set. And that's when I was actually able to read some of the labeling on the suits that I had never been able to see before. And when I was able to read that labeling, what I noticed was it wasn't actually anything that was written for the film. So there's this part on the blue suit, sorry, on the silver suit, which has a blue front pack, blue front control pack. There's like this black section here, and in the black section, there's this like paragraph of writing. What does it say? Well, when I finally got these high res photos and got to read it, what I saw that it said was it was the legalese text in the product Letraset when you bought a sheet of Letraset. This was like the bottom right hand corner legalese, like all copyrights reserved, blah blah blah. United States manufactured under license of blah blah blah. Yeah, and they like so the prop master like knew you're never going to be able to read it, but you wanted the detail, you wanted the layering of the detail. That I love. Okay, now it's time. Okay, rub downs. I got to find out where he had these manufactured. I have several props I'd love to do some dry transfers for. And again, just take a just take a look at just take a look at how beautiful those are, right? I mean, yeah, just gorgeous. I actually even went so far as to try and buy a make your own dry transfer kit. It's just not quite as good as I was hoping. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so these four guys, they live here, and they all face upwards, or so they're upside down effectively. So it goes one. Oh, okay, great, great. Um, More glue. So we'll put down this glue here, and then we will place these. Hello, sweetie. Give me just a second, all right? Hi. Oh, I'll be right with you, Maggie. I promise. I told you she was going to show up soon, right? She's a very good shop assistant. She's very predictable. Okay, sweet. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, come here, sweetie. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Maggie got a haircut this weekend. She was getting a little shaggy. Remember a couple years ago when it was like 105 in San Francisco? Remember when weather was our big concern? Oh my God. Anyway, a couple years ago during that ridiculously hot summer, Maggie was just sitting in the coldest part of the house, just like, and I was like, "You have too much fur." And so I took her over to the cave and I shaved a bunch of that fur off of her. And that's when we discovered that underneath the like rough exterior of a wire terrier's not soft fur is a smooth dog inside. Yeah. So now she's all smooth. Smooth girl. Yes. We're gonna go out in a couple minutes and then yeah, it'll be time for dinner. Actually, your timing is perfect, Maggie. I only have about 7 or 8 minutes left. Also, I like the fact that whenever I shave her, it looks like someone cut her angel wings off. I know that's sort of gruesome, but I mean, that's what I think. All right, sweetie. Yep. I'm gonna get you a treat. Give me just a second, everybody. Come here, sweetie. Go. Good girl. All right. We are burning through it. Okay, now some more resistors. Display circuitry parts kit. That's all at the top of the board. Um, there are 7 components. Okay, I see all these. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. All right. So it's just moving through it. And yep, okay, I see. That's where those resistors all are. Okay. Um, yeah, so that's one of the screws. Oh, wait, right. Does that, maybe it doesn't. Well, we will see. Um, I'm going to leave that for a minute. So let's see. We got the pot that sits up there. All right. Does that look correct? Actually, better, better. Got to tape that down to put it in. Let me just hold that like that, and I will. Oh, you need to heat up. Sorry. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. Gotta wait. I don't like waiting. It's fine. You still have to wait. But what if I don't have to wait? But you do have to wait. 275, 286, 300. We're in. We're in. Okay. We're in the room. And we're in. Oh, lovely. Oh, fabulous. Oh, marvelous. Okay. And then we got the little switchy poo. Where's that? I saw it. Ah, here it is. Switch list right there. All right. Yeah, I'm not even taping it in. I'm just doing it. Oh, so that's the mounting point, and then I can also solder in. Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, then we've got a little IC chip thing. Okay, yep, that goes there. Good. Chip socket, that's what it is. Chip socket, sales manager. Okay, so, oh, I guess, no, I got all 4 corners, so now I can just finish out the soldering. Oh, this is so much fun. Um, I don't think I'm going to continue this one on camera. I'm noticing the level of concentration it takes, and the lack of my ability to show you interesting progress might mean that this is not the most ideal project for hanging out with me in the cave here. However, I'm a learning computer, so I think I'll have a more fun thing to build on Thursday that we can go over. Uh, Come on. There we go. Beauty. That's great. Um, I think we're wrapping this up here. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. Um, I really appreciate you guys joining me for this. I hope that this provided some solace and some succor during this weird time. Remember, your civic duty is to stay home, stay away from each other. Uh, we can get through this together. We can get through this together. Uh, don't let the forces of evil divide us. Seriously. Again, thanks for joining me in the cave. It is delightful knowing that you're watching, and that we are all staying away from each other together. Yeah. Uh, I would love to see pictures of what you are working on in your shop, in your cave, in your craft closet, where whatever you are doing. I'd like you to post pictures of it, uh, because again, we're all in this together. Let's share what we're working on, even if what we're working on is pillow forts for the kids and dinosaur videos to keep them out of your hair. That is a completely reasonable form of child rearing. Thank you guys so much. I will see you on Thursday at 1, and big virtual hugs from the Mission District in San Francisco. Now I'm going to take my dog for a walk. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Okay. Well, now you get a little bit of the, let's see here. And we're done.